With Charvarius Ward most likely out for the remainder of the season due to the birth of his new son, San Francisco needed to add depth at the cornerback position, so they picked up Trey Avery from the Tennessee Titans. And it's not like he's been terrible, he's actually been a constant contributor. Back during his rookie year in 2022, for instance, he led the entire team with 9 pass breakups, which ranked 6th among all NFL rookies. The following year, he followed that up with 2 passes defended in 15 games. This year, he hasn't really been involved as much on the defensive side, but he still has been active on the special teams. The way San Francisco picked up Avery was because the Titans were trying to sneak him onto the practice squad, but because of San Francisco's need, they got him instead. The caveat is, he's a free agent after the end of this year, so this is basically a 1-year rental for Avery. But I do think San Francisco brought him in because they wanted the first crack at him before he hits free agency. So in this video, I want to break down Avery's film and why I think he could actually end up being a decent player for San Francisco. Starting out, I think a big reason why Avery's been so successful at breaking up passes at the NFL level is how aggressive he is with the ball in the air. On this play specifically, Avery does a nice job with his press man coverage disrupting this wide receiver's route, and then when the ball comes out, he's able to track it, and you see how he hits it away, tears it away from this wide receiver catching it in the end zone. Another underappreciated part about Avery is how quickly he identifies wide receivers' routes. On this play, for instance, he quickly identifies the out route, jumps it, and if he was only a half a second sooner, it would have been a pick going the other way. To go along with these instincts, Avery has prototypical speed as he ran his 40-yard dash in 4.43 seconds, so that definitely helps him on these deep patterns. And on this example, I love how he's going up and attacking this ball at the highest point, really challenging this wide receiver and ultimately forcing the incompletion. And even when it looks like you have an easy completion here like in this Green Bay game, he's looking for the ball and punching it out as often as he can. Outside of pass breakups, Avery's ability to jump routes and understand what the wide receiver is doing also gets quarterbacks to move off of him. Like on this play, you can see Case Keenum looking Avery's direction, and as he jumps it, he pulls it down, which ultimately leads to the sack on this play. Outside of his coverage skills, I also think Avery does a nice job of coming up and making tackles. He's not perfect, but he's not bad for someone that was an undrafted free agent. Here, for instance, he quickly identifies a bubble for this wide receiver, comes up, breaks down, and makes a secure tackle in the open field. This is pretty hard to do. In a similar way on this play, with Avery playing off coverage, he identifies the slant, comes up, and makes a tackle on the wide receiver before they're able to make the first down. This isn't me saying Avery's a perfect player because he has his inconsistencies, but he has a lot of bright spots, and I can see why San Francisco brought him in for essentially a tryout for a contract. This is especially the case when you consider Isaac Adams an unrestricted free agent after this season, as well as Charvarius Ward. So if Avery has a nice game against the Cardinals, I could definitely see him playing himself into a roster spot for next year, but ultimately these are just my thoughts about Trey Avery, and I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you could like and subscribe, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.